Well, what a monumental occasion we have got here. We are back for a transfer special and our first ever European match. Cue the UEFA licensing for the first time for me in FM23 and cue that beautiful music of Thursday Night Football. Hello and welcome along to part 61 of this Build a Nation story, Lifting Spirits with me, Daniel. We are back today to make history by playing our first European game at a save. And we've got a pretty friendly draw by first game standards, I'd argue. So we've got a chance of getting through genuinely in this game. But then if we get to the second round, it's a little bit trickier. We'll talk about why in a moment. We've also got transfers in and out of the club. And I'm pretty happy with what we've done. So I'm happy, we've got a good draw, we've got good transfers. If you're looking forward to it all, then please do put a thumbs up on it. But let's go and get straight into this season because it is a huge effort. Of course, the battle is coming back as early as the 12th of July. We've not had a full summer to do our transfer work. We've also not had a full pre-season to get people fit. Only one game, as you can see from the top right of the screen. So let's have a look at the players in and out and then go and get into our matches. This has been a very good summer, in my opinion. We'll start as always with the released players, but in terms of the summer overall, I'd argue we're now at the stage of 7 players in and 6 players out. There's a couple more to probably leave the club which are pending, but that's basically all we've got left to do now. If we go back to the released players at the end of last season, the only first teamers on this list are James Convey, who we knew was going to be leaving the club. Did contribute, was still our top scorer in the Irish Cup last year. Scored free kicks to help beat 2 lower league teams. He deserves credit. He's been a big servant for this club. Over 100 league games, scoring 1 in 4. He was also joined by Neil Graham, who obviously dropped from backup to third choice keeper. He's now gone to be number 2 at Warren Point. And in this season, as you got a glimpse of there, Aidan McDowell has left the club too. Didn't really feature last year. Was our emergency cover centre half. And this year, with some strength in depth, he's not going to be required. So those are the 3 that were released. Now let's go and have a look at the players in and out. If we start with the outs at the end of last season, you can already see there 4 names behind my head starting from May. Tom Wilson-Brown, we already knew about. Another centre-half leaving. He went to Coleraine, where he'll be a fringe player. But the fact we couldn't compete financially with them, that tells you everything you need to know. Shea Lucas went out on loan. That might now become a permanent deal to another club, but we'll deal with that later. The crucial thing is, for us at least, for the rest of his contract, he's being paid by Carrick, so we've not got to worry. 2 youngsters went out on frees after that. And in this season, Connor Kingsbury went out on loan and then permanently. Coleraine nicking the youngster this time around. He's going to have a decent future if he sorts his personality out. And then Taylor Hart, just today in fact, has gone to Scunthorpe on loan, which maybe shows you how much we've strengthened this squad. Let's go and have a look at the players that have joined the club. They're the far more exciting bit. And we start at the end of last season with some gems. A quick reminder, just as part of that Taylor Hart deal, that Robert Burns we signed in January went on loan to Carrick again for the rest of the year. He has now come back to the club and is very solid. So he is basically replacing Taylor Hart. The rest of this page, though, is absolutely brilliant. We'll actually start with a penultimate one because Neil Kane you already knew about. He came in on a free at the end of his contract at Dergview. Really quality player. I think was on non-contract terms there. Not even 300 quid a week. Will be our first choice keeper. And with Ethan Ross as well, that gives us real quality there. So happy with him. He's 23 and he's played over 250 league games. That's how good the kid is. The other 3, though, real good signings. First one was a top centre-half. Similar route to Morgan Griffiths last year. Harley Jones, a young Welsh central defender. 3-star ability, lots of potential, really solid pro. Not the quickest, but naturally fit, good mentally, solid defensively as well. Don't like that he dives into tackles, but we'll live with it and we'll try and train it out of him. But he's played 50 senior league games, he's a good footballer, and he's agreed to sign as an impact sub on 150 quid a week. So even if he only plays half the games this year, it is a massive opportunity to develop him. And as we've said before, if we can go pro in the next year or 2, these guys will really go to the next level. But what I wanted to have at centre-half as well was a ready-made player, a ready-made pro. And Jake Cooper is certainly that. He's a 28-year-old who I think is at Altrincham in real life, then went to Shelbourne for years in this save. And look at the crucial thing if you can. We talked about Daniel McGill being 32 now, only staying because he was leading and mentoring groups. We have got another model citizen into the club. Jake Cooper at 28 is a solid pro. Again, happy to be an impact sub, but he's better than that. Both of them are probably better than Ben Owen. And Ben Williams, well, we'll judge what we'll do with him later. But this guy, real no-brainer. Great personality, good defender. Not the best technically, but everything else is superb. Really happy to have him in. And in the final one at the end of last season, another experienced addition. Barry Bagley had been let go by Larne. He was slightly better than Taylor Hart. He could play box to box. He was decent as a playmaker. His passing range okay. Just a slight upgrade in that position. Very good physically. Solid enough mentally. And a good personality. He's my type of pro. So he comes in, the former under-21 international. And although he's on a decent wage, although he's played a fair amount of football in recent years, he'll probably be a backup to us for the two starters, which Daniels and Whitehall are both still here. But a really solid pro. And again, we're competing in Europe, we're competing in the Cups and over a league season that's largely played in that ridiculous festive period. We've got to have a stronger squad depth, and these guys allow us to do it. Into this season, it's all about first teamers, because we couldn't find an upgrade at right back, so I just got Jim Wood back in. He was out of contract at the end of the calendar year. We offered him a deal, and then we did it now, because we couldn't find another right back. Jim Wood comes in for 14 grand. I think he's our highest fee of the save so far. He's an under-20 international. He's still a very good player. And for now at right back, we know what he can do. He's dependable. He's pleased to have joined to play for me and one of his favoured personnel. So all of that should mean we get the best out of him. And don't forget that shift he did at centre-half in the cup final too. The final signings both came in yesterday. Again, there were second choices due to wage demands, but they are exceptional upgrades. What area haven't we tapped into yet? That's right, the wingers. Brian Varma, he is a 3.5 star, in fact 4 star now left winger. 400 quid a week. He is worth every penny. He is brilliant. He is high quality. He's physically sensational. He gets to the byline. He takes people on. He shoots from distance, though he's not great at it. And he's got a little bit of versatility in emergency situations. An under-21 international for the Republic of Ireland. And again, he comes from Tottenham, having not played a senior game. Might be a slow burner, as we saw with Pardy and perhaps with Morgan Griffiths as well. But if we can turn pro in the next year or two, get these guys training full time, I really think we've got some gems. Brian Varma, sensational. The other one is not far off, and it's going to be a hell of a challenge for Pardy on the right wing this time, because Thamindu Poate, he comes in as a 3.5 star ability right winger, natural on the left and can cover at right back too. Again, physically monstrous, brilliant in terms of his flair, his off the ball movement, very solid in terms of his technique too. The only issue is he dives into challenges, which I'm not a big fan of. But for two wingers at this level, we have got massive upgrades. And unlike the other side with Varma, this guy has played a bit of senior football. Loan spells at Barnet and Boreham Wood, whilst being a part of Coventry's youth system, have allowed him to get some senior experience. We are at a stage where we've got slightly too many to register for both the league and for Europe, so we are going to have to trim the squad a little bit, and these are the ones in a transfer centre we're currently planning to do it with. So Shay Lucas, you saw, was going out on loan already. He's probably going to leave the club permanently. And then Sean Moore is the other one, maybe a bit of a surprise to you guys, to Glenn Soren. But if we're looking at him, he was unhappy when Farmer came in, felt he was going to get pushed out the team. And of the backups, Lewis Scott's got the bigger potential. We've now got Cooper as a backup striker. I just didn't feel we needed him as well. So Sean Moore will move on. Really good year for us. Really good for Linfield as a squad player. But maybe at Glentoran he can get regular football, which will help him massively. So that means our squad now looks like this. We've got a few players on trial still, but they won't be joining. They were the other wing options, but none of them were affordable, bar Cummins, who wasn't as good as the first choice. The other crucial bit of news in here is that Michael Hammond has rejoined on loan for another year. He is a very solid backup left back and arguably as good as Curtis Bell. And we've got the usual few players in Griffiths, Whitehall and Daniels, our whole midfield in fact, that are unhappy we didn't do the training facilities again. I did ask, but I didn't get anywhere. So the squad is strong, we're in really good shape. Daniel McGill will be off at the end of this season because we've now got another model citizen. Rory Brown, I'm trying to sell in goal. And of course, we look like we're going to be losing another man. That's Sean Moore in midfield. A good squad, a big squad, ready to compete. And we have got a big game to start our Europa Conference qualifiers. Valmeira are a beatable side in Latvia. Yes, they're professional, but they're the same reputation as us. Of course, they've got a lot of greyed out players. It's not one of the leagues I've added in. I have added in some of the European ones now, though, just to make sure we don't get unrealistic progression. But their key player, a centre midfielder, he is out injured with a broken leg. So I'd imagine we've probably got a good chance of winning this one. But if we get through, we will be facing, let me go and show you the second round draw. And this is where it might come to a crushing halt. We will be facing, if we get through, where is it? Down the bottom of the screen. There we go. Turkish side Besiktas, managed by Valerian Ismail. Might be a slightly trickier challenge if we do make it through. But let's try and get through the first round. Get our first coefficient points on the board. And hopefully the other sides in the nation will deliver too. Linfield, of course, taking part in the Champions League. We're going to get through to the fixtures. Let's go and pick our 11. We'll be back in a minute to run through it. Well, I think you all know how I operate by now, and I've taken a little bit of a gamble to start the season. Not only have I kept it as familiar as possible, I've tried to avoid bringing in lots of new faces for this game. I have also made the decision to trust our unhappy players. It's the 3 centre midfielders and Ben Williams, but I am going to stick with them for this one and trust them to deliver, because cohesion, those partnerships you can see all over the place, they are important to this club. What it does mean is that Brian Varma is the only debutant on the left wing. On the bench, you've got Neil Kane, the goalkeeper, Cooper and Jones, the new centre-halves, Bagley and Burns, the midfielders, and the right winger isn't registered yet because both him and Varma came after we had to submit our squad. And of course, I needed the left winger more, so he is in. 12 subs, including one youngster from the youth team, but this is the 11 I'm going for today. It's Ethan Ross in goal, Jim Wood and Bella the fullbacks with Williams and Owen a centre-half, Daniels, Whitehall and Griffiths the midfield 3, Varma the new signing on the left and Pardy over on the right, and Jonathan McElhatton the goal machine up front. No one's fit, most of them aren't happy, and of course we're not a settled team yet. So let's just go and get into the first leg. We are very slight favourites according to the media. Whether that plays out, we'll wait and see. Here we go then, a true moment to savour. Our first European match with Distillery. We face Valmeira in a game where the media have us as slight favourites. We've got the bigger squad, and although they've got a largely greyed out team, they've actually got a lot of players with decent attributes. They're all generally 9s, 10s, 11s, so while they're not quite as specialised as ours into key areas for their role, it is still a decent team. So I'd expect it to be fairly close, but I do fancy us to get through. The question is whether we can deliver. No matter what happens, we enjoy this night. It is our first game with UEFA licensing in FM23. I don't know how much that's going to excite me, hopefully as much as the FL ones did. Of course, we will have the Europa music, which I'm just going to sit back and enjoy like a national anthem. And finally, you know how much I love Thursday nights. We do Twitch watch-alongs just for Europa Conference and Europa League games. This is a really special moment for me. Let's go and tell the lads we're favourites for a reason. Make sure they're in no doubt as to why. A few of the unhappy players unsure. Through the tunnel interview we go. Let's just sit back for a second and enjoy this music. It is going to be spectacular. Yes, here we go. We've arrived. It is Thursday night football. This is beautiful. Love the graphics, love the music. Hopefully it's not drowning out my voice or vice versa now. Oh, it's a wonderful occasion. Oh, they've even got the thing on the centre circle. This is magnificent. Out they come through the tunnel. Oh, it's got the carpet, the ref picking up the match ball. I'm in heaven. Enjoy the music for a second more. Then let's go and get into the first half against Valmeira. Well, it's been a quiet start for the first 6 minutes, and actually it's the home side with the better chance here, putting the ball in from a set piece. Whitehall able to nick it though. Can we counter them? We want to punish them for committing men forward against us. Varma the new boy is carrying it down the left. What an instant impact he could make. Crosses headed away as far as Mpardi on the right. He delivers to the back post again. Varma in. McElhatton down for Whitehall. What a shot that is. Into the far corner from 20 yards. He might be unhappy, he might be unsure, but boy does he know how to hit a football from 20 yards out. Varma heavily involved the new man, and although they had the set piece early on, they didn't take advantage, and the stats look very good for us. Valmeira have scored in the first minute against Cardiff Met Uni. How Alarm getting on a bit further down. Can we see, or is the graphic broken? I think it's broken. But Valmeira winning, Lisburn Distillery winning. Hopefully we can make it a clean sweep tonight. As here they are with a goal kick, half an hour gone. I would take a 1-0 now as Griffiths picks it up. It might get better. McElhatton through the middle. Great run, good save. Cleared away by Bondars. Out to Mpardi on the right. We are making this a very difficult night for the hosts. Second goal for Valmeira United at half-time. We have dominated this football match, but we've only scored one, and while it's 1-0, it's all to play for. Both wingers on a booking, will be a little careful of that too, but so far, this has been the perfect night. It's a free kick on the edge of the box for the hosts. We'll look at subs shortly, don't want to risk a red card or anything like that, as Jim Wood gets it on the right-hand side to Williams. He goes long over the top to Griffiths. Beats his man in the air. Gets through. Lovely ball for McElhatton. Very composed finish by the star striker. And Jonathan McElhatton has his European goal. 2-0 Lisburn Distillery. And if we can keep this in the away leg, surely it's tie over. Let's go and have a look at how Larne are doing now. We will make our subs in a moment. But we can't find out Larne's result. The one thing that always annoyed me, that screen. Let's see how Valmeira are doing. They're 2-0 still. So let's go and make our changes. Larne now 1-0 up. We are all winning our first European game. Both wingers are going to be replaced. The new boy off for Lewis Scott. And on the right-hand side, I'm going to move McElhatton and put Cooper through the middle. In midfield, Daniels is struggling a little bit. Robert Burns can make his debut as well. And Ben Owen a centre-half replaced by Jake Cooper. 3 new boys on, 1 new boy off. But what a night it's been so far. Can we make it even better? Or do we settle for 2-0? I'd take that, by the way. Well, 10 minutes to go. We've got 1 sub left, so I might as well bring on the other new boy. Harley Jones will replace, not Ben Williams. I'm going to take Jim Wood off and put Williams to right back. Want to experiment with that in a second leg as well. But this potentially is where we start to progress. Lots of new boys coming on, just Bagley and Kane that didn't. But if we're 2-0 up for the second leg, Kane can start in goal. I'm sure you can understand why I wanted experience and familiarity in this one, but the lads have done the job superbly. And don't forget, it's not just about the coefficient of getting through a round. Winning each individual match makes a difference too. And at the moment, we have delivered a really good performance. 10 minutes to go. Valmeira winning, Larne winning, and Distillery winning as it's just over the bar from a Whitehall header. It's been a really good night so far. We've not given up many chances. Larne have got a second goal. Valmeira 2-0 up. We're all going to win 2-0. It is a perfect night as there's 3 minutes added on. I just want to hear the music again as Williams gets it back to his keeper. Ethan Ross takes his time. No pressure on the ball. They've settled for 2. We'll definitely settle for 2 as Cooper's got the ball at the back to his goalkeeper again. Definitely no rush to get it forward here. It's a big pitch. It's a carpet of a surface and we're playing some lovely stuff as Lewis got the sub. Gonna have to settle for that sort of reduced role this year. Plays a 1-2 with Burns. And back to Bell. It's excellent keeping of possession. Really composed. Really professional. And a lot of young players doing a very good job. Now we've break some space with Whitehall. Cooper plays McElhatton. Chance to go back to him. I thought he was offside, but the right back played him on by miles. And it's a lovely finish from Cameron Cooper. Both strikers off the mark on the opening day. A brilliant game, a brilliant performance, and crucially, an excellent result. We're going to get through the first qualifying round. We'll enjoy it because Besiktas will no doubt dump us out. But at least we get through one, and that is crucial. As Jones heads away to Griffiths, could it be even better? Whitehall picks it up on halfway. They seem to have given up. They've gone flat. McElhatton carries it to Griffiths. Good challenge. Cooper nicks it off him though. McElhatton again. Across the box for Griffiths. Oh, it's a great chance. Straight at the keeper. How on earth have we missed that? What a performance it's been though. Jones is winning headers galore back there already. And Griffith gets it to McElhatton. Through to Cooper. Out to the right he goes. It's a good challenge. Only to McElhatton. And again, cleared away for a throw. That's going to be it. A 3-0 victory. A brilliant display. And a lot of these debutants can make their first start next week because we are through. I'm telling you that. Besiktas will get to be a big test in the next episode as Lewis Scott heads the final chance over the bar. Who's looking forward to seeing that? Because that was a stunning display. Dressing room, please. Well done, lads. You're going through to the next round. Second leg, just be professional. Just to confirm the other results as well, Valmeira United 2-0 victors against Cardiff Met Uni. Larne got the same result against their Icelandic opponents. So we all kept clean sheets, we all got victories, and we all look like we're going through to the next round. Great for the Irish coefficient. The crucial thing is, though, we have basically secured our place through already. So what we're going to do is we're going to play the second leg, get Neil Kane in, get Bagley in, a few of those debutants that need a game. And then we will be back, I'm presuming, 2 weeks today to face Besiktas in the second qualifying round. Now, if that isn't a proper introduction to European football, I don't know what is. But if you did enjoy this one, the summer transfer special, and seeing so many of them come off the bench against Valmeira, then please do put a thumbs up on it. Let me know in the comments what you thought of the display, how many you think we'll lose to Besiktas by, and most importantly, what do you think of those summer transfers? Because at the moment, I am a very, very happy man. If you agree with me, then let me know. If you think we need to strengthen anywhere else, tell me where. But for now, if you want to stay up to date with this season, subscribe and turn that notification bell on. I'm imagining the next one will be our last European fixture of the year, but I'm going to enjoy it all the same. Big for the coefficient, we're on the board, and we got to enjoy the UEFA licence for the first time in this game. A wonderful episode, a wonderful summer. I'm a very happy man at the minute. I'll see you back here with another smile in a couple of days' time, but in the meantime, we will be back with the head coach tomorrow. The latest season of that is up in the eye above. There's also a link up there to the Twitch channel, Football Podcast, and the Food channel too. But thank you so much for your support as always. It is massively appreciated. And I'll see you back here next time for a rude awakening, I'd imagine, as we should be facing Besiktas in the second qualifying round. Imagine we go out after I've said all of this. I'll see you next time.